Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to go over how to change background color for all of our divs, like set a standard that we want for our div containers. We're also going to go over how to access only specific div containers to change stuff within those that we don't want all our div containers to be changed to. We don't want to make that the standard. And then we're also going to go over let's see. We're going to go over font color. So we're going to change our font to make it some more color in there. We don't want just black font because that's boring. And then we're going to go over box shadow. So we're going to create a box and we're going to create a shadow around the box. And we're also going to put a border around the box. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's say that we wanted a standard for all our div containers to be. So for example, I would want a standard to be the margin because that's really close to the edge, and I don't like it when text is like hugging the edge of the computer. That's a no-no. So what we gotta do is type div curly braces, and then we're going to put margin. And let's go ahead and do 25 pixels. You can also do 25%. And I would suggest doing 25, like a percentage. It doesn't have to be 25. It can be like 40 or something. But I would suggest doing percentages because that's going to be more consistent across other computers that have like smaller screens, bigger screens. The pixels is more of like I want it 25 pixels. I don't care if your screen's smaller, it's going to be 25 pixels. So we're going to do that, and let's go ahead and see what happens. Control S, I'm going to go ahead and Control S in here. Control R. Did that work? Let's go ahead and make this bigger so I can see that it actually worked. Control S, Control R. What? Oh, it's because I don't have anything. Okay. It's because I don't have anything in my div. So let's go ahead and put let's put this. Control C, delete that. Let's delete some of the space. Let's go ahead and Control V to put that in there. All right, well, let's put this back on 25 because 50 is going to be kind of intense. Control S, Control S, Control R, and there we go. We have our little margin going on, which is awesome. So looky here how our list is margined. This is just like Word. You know, whenever you create your list to put the bullet points or the numbers, it puts an automatic indent or margin. That's what happened right there. Our margin did not affect the list. Our margin only affected what was inside of our div block. Now say we had multiple divs. Let's see. Let's say we had multiple divs. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna create another div for us. Let's go ahead and give this a primary key as well. And within this div, let's go ahead and type today is going to be a great Okay, so today is going to be a great day. That is what is inside of our second div block. See how I've made the standard for all divs? So if I go ahead and Control S and Control S, what's going to happen is this today is going to be a great day is going to show up under this first div block, and it's also going to be marginalized to 25 pixels. Click in here, Control R, and there we go. We see that margin going on. Let's go ahead and, so just so you guys can see, let's put 70%, which is going to be kind of intense. Okay. It got shoved all the way over to the side of the screen, the right side, and that's too much. Too much. So let's go ahead and Control S, Control R. That's still a little bit too big. Let's go ahead and do like, let's do 8. Control S, Control R. And we have set the standard for our div blocks to be this %, margin 8%. And let's say, I'm gonna go ahead and change this to 25 pixels again to make it nicer looking. Let's say that I wanted this to be the standard margin for my divs, but I didn't want info to div to be 25 pixels. So all we have to do is go in here. It doesn't matter where you put it in the CS, it's gonna read that just the same. Let's go ahead and, since we're aiming for a specific div, what I have to do is put hashtag my primary key ID. So hashtag info2, because I'm saying I want that specific div. I want this specific container. And then we're going to put margin, let's do 5%, Control S, Control R, and we've made this indent 5%. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see what's happening. Okay. So I think we have that. And what else? I was going to do a box shadow. So let's go ahead and, so for our links, how we have this green, let's go ahead and change that green because that's not a great color. This. And then let's go ahead and I want to create Control S, Control R. Now it's that color. But I want to put a shadow around this so it doesn't look just plain Jane. So let's go ahead and type shadow, or sorry, it's going to be box shadow. And what's going to happen here is we're going to put 0, then let's say 3 pixels, and then we're going to put 26 pixels, 0. Then we're going to have our RGB, I believe. And inside this, we're going to put 0, 0, 0, and then let's go ahead and just put 4. So let's go ahead and see what, oh, my bad, I missed an A. Let's go ahead and see what is happening. Control S, Control R. Looky there, we have a nice shadow going around our box. Let's go ahead and play with this 3 pixel to see what's happening. Let's type 28. Control S, Control R. Okay, so this first pixel right here looks like how far down the shadow is gonna go, which is cool. That's really cool. Let's not make that so big. Let's make that about, make it 10. Control S, Control R. So let's look at this second pixel. Let's see what's going on with that. Let's make it 50. Control S, Control R. Okay. So the second pixel is how much the shadow is dispersing. That's how transparent I want, how thick I want my shadow to be, as well as how dispersed. So I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and do, I'll just leave that as 50 because I like that. That's cool. Let's see what this 0 does. Let's do 90. Can that be 90 or does it have to be 0? Oh. Maybe this has to be 0. Okay. These have to be 0 apparently. Okay. Also, I don't think you have to have these. Control S, Control R. You do have to have those. Okay. Let's see. Let's put this 0 here and see what happened. Control R. Okay. Let's go ahead and delete that. Control S, Control R to throw that back down there. Let's put the 0 right here. Control S, Control R. I guess that is just a standard that you have to have whenever you're calling the box shadow option. So right here on RGBA, this is going to be, let's go ahead and fix that again. Right here, let's go ahead and play with these and see what's happening. Okay, nothing happened. Okay, nothing happened. Let's try this one. Oh, did I just miss it or something? Yeah, I'm not really sure what that first one is doing, but the second one is changing the color. So that changed our shadow to green. Let's go ahead and let's surf our options as to what we can do. Let's do like a dark blue since our background is blue. So Control S, Control R. Now we have that blue shadow going on. So I believe the 225 is the opacity. So let's put 9 or 8, I guess. Control S, Control R. Yeah, I think that's the capacity. Or not capacity, but opacity. Control S, Control. I keep pressing that freaking tab. Okay, Control R. Let's change that and see what happens. I guess that's also how thick it is. But I do like how thick that is. It looks really nice. So let's see. Besides the box shadow, oh, the border. Okay, let's say I wanted a border around my nav background color. So what we're going to do is really easy. We just type border. Then we look at our selections. Let's do dashed. I haven't done that. So Control S, Control R, and we have a mighty nice dashed border around our background color. Let's see. The other thing was, oh, the font color. How could I forget? Okay. Let's look where our world is. I don't know if I can access that just by what it is, but I'm going to try my very best. So let's type span, open and close. And let's go ahead and type color. And I want the color to be, let's see, you guys, what would be a good color for our black background? Like a good color for the font. When you think of the world, what do you think? I don't know about you guys, but I think green. Do I just want plain green or do I want like forest green? Let's do forest green. Alright, let's see if this worked. I'm not totally sure if it's going to. I feel like I need, oops, what did I do? I think I need to have a div container. Awesome. I didn't have to. Alright, so for the standard spans, I don't have any, oh, okay, yeah. I only have one span container in here, so it's perfectly fine for me to just say span forest green. But if I had multiple spans, then I believe I would need to make an ID. I don't know if you put IDs in spans or not. Let's go ahead and see. Span, oops. I like it when HTML helps me a bit. Span, let's put testing, not texting, testing. And let's give this a header of 4 to make that a little bit bigger. Go ahead and copy our span container, put it inside our header. Let's go ahead and give this span an ID. I'm not totally sure if this is what you're supposed to do. I'm just seeing if it's going to work. Let's say test. So let's go inside our CSS and say that we want a specific span. Well, let's leave that span as the standard one and then put hashtag to say a specific ID that I'm wanting to access, which is test. Open and close curly brace, color. Okay. So where our test should show up is somewhere below our Enigma enjoys YouTube and Twitch. So Control S, Control S, Control R. And it did show up, and it looks like our standard for span is still the same, which is awesome. And our specific ID or our specific span code of block that I wanted to change changed correctly. So you can use ID primary keys to access specific containers such as div, nav, span. I'm assuming it goes the same way with nav. We haven't tried that, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Since I've kind of spilled the beans and already said that it's going to work with nav, let's go ahead and see if it really does. That's with links. I don't know. I don't know about this. Let's put this right here. Nav. Let's copy this. Actually, let's go ahead and delete that. Delete that container because my container is nav that I'm going into now. So Control S, Control S, Control R. And it did work perfectly with nav. So with all containers, and once again, I've just made conclusions that I haven't, no, I don't know if they're valid or not, but I'm assuming with alt containers like nav, span, div, body, head, you can give them IDs, primary keys for all of them, and you can set standards for them, and you can also say this one, I don't want it to be I may want it to have the standard margin, but I want the color to be a different color than what the standard is. That's perfectly fine. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Control S, Control S, Control R. And that concludes this video. Thank you for watching.